Y'all see the hypocrisy going on around here? Do y'all see the hypocrisy going on around here? Because all I'm saying is a whole lot of people feel some type of way about a certain individual that they say been doing all this and doing all that. But when we've been saying the same shit about the same person doing all this and doing all that, all the people in this so-called sector just want to focus on one individual. So what we gonna do is we're gonna listen to this live I listened to the other night, because I gotta chime in as well, because some people, of course, popped out. Y'all know it was gonna get weird at one point, and yeah, if y'all missed it, check it out. Shout out to V. Lenore.
Play right? Hold on. Did it play good that time? He's not good. Yeah, no, he's not. Okay, good. Oh, it was breaking up again? Damn it, man. Okay, well, I apologize for that, y'all. All right, I want to check something out. Hold on. Where is it? Hold on 1 second, okay? Because they're saying, do you have me open still in YouTube? Are you on the computer? On YouTube right now? Are you?
No, I'm just on the phone.
You're on the phone because they're saying that there's an echo.
Oh, I don't hear your echo.
Okay, can you? And I don't hear it either, but they hear it in the chat. Can you do me a favor? Can you just leave out, come right back?
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Okay, thanks, babe. All right. Debowski asked for a link. You can definitely hit the link.
Okay, can you hear me now? Hello?
Is there still? Yeah, hold on. Well, I could hear you. Is there still? The echo is on. It's the static. Now there's static.
How about now?
The static happened before you came, so it's not you. It's me. Shit. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna leave it. I'll be right back. Okay. Be right back.
Or whatever, and helped her with everything and showed her the ropes and ways, and then now he's against her. Or then 1 minute he wants to be cool with her. And ironically, too, he was a R. Kelly supporter. You can even go through his old tweets during the trial. He was attacking the victims, saying that they're lying, saying that they're thirsty fans, everything else, and the way that he would report it and stuff on social media and to TMZ. A lot of people thought that R. Kelly was going to get off. That's why everybody was surprised that he didn't get off, because Dennis Byron wasn't reporting it accurately. I mean, he wasn't reporting it with no bias. He was biased throughout the entire thing. So yeah, like his behavior, the way he thinks, everything else is not surprising. And I honestly think that he's just trying to be friends with Sylvia, because Sylvia's popping in that world right now. And I'm not saying this as a supporter of Sylvia, because I don't agree with a lot of the things she does.
Okay, now you're
I'm saying like
your credibility now. Okay, popping.
No. I'm not saying I don't. No, I don't fuck with her, but I'm saying not popping, but I'm saying she like, he's salty that she's it, like, that people are reposting her more than they're reposting him. Does that make sense? So then he tries to, like, whenever she has clout about something, he tries to grab onto her, whatever. But I'm saying, like, he's flip-floppy, but he can't, in the way that he was, like, going against Dana J without even knowing the history between him and Sylvia was wrong. Like, this lady and her friend Panda and stuff, they've been harassing Dana for years. Harassing him for years. Consistently attacking him. Dana's even gone like 3 months without talking about him, and they would still be harassing him, sending people to drive by his house and take pictures of it and post it on social media.
Okay.
So this has been something that's been documented for years of her harassment, of her harassing
Okay,
him.
let me ask you something. You sound very worked up about it. Are you a
Oh no, I know, I'm taking a walk. I'm not worked up. I don't
oh,
really give a fuck. I'm just taking a walk. Yeah, I know, girl. I'm getting my exercise and I'm not trying to be big like the silverback. So,
okay.
a small back
Okay.
season over here. I don't want a big back.
Okay. All right. Dubowski, what would you like to say? Is there anything that you would say?
So pause right there, because I know it's choppy. I don't know if somebody was reporting her live or whatever the case may be, but the whole thing was pretty much choppy. But what the girl came up said was the history behind all the back and forth that been going on between Dana and Sylvia. Now, of course, you got the outside people coming in, they're lost. Then you got the people that been chiming in all these years want to put their 2 cents on what they think is going on. Cool. Then you got the fact that I've been saying on my platform for years, all these narratives that they spin about Dana J, these are their opinions. Yet at the end of the day, for them to sit on these platforms and talk about their R. Kelly supporters, but they've spent all these goddamn years focusing more on Dana J and the fuckery than the paperwork, which is something that I'm going to redirect y'all to towards the end of this live, because that's the major focus in what I'm about to do. And the point that I'm going to make, considering a lot of people haven't grasped, again, why I said I moved the way I do, the way I presented my information the way I did. And it's because of reasons like this. People come up on these platforms, they retwist the series of events and how they ended up beefing with one another on these platforms instead of recognizing the same thing that I've been saying all these years. Why is it people have gotten so involved in this man's case, doing all this back and forth, when it was very simple to do your research, read the paperwork, break down the accusations, put forth information that you felt that showed the inconsistencies, etc., etc. But then you got the narrative that R. Kelly supporters were doxing and harassing these so-called victims. Now, that right there is another matter, because what anybody could have and possibly did outside of the scope of what we were presented publicly on these platforms, we wouldn't know. But we do know that certain individuals were taking credit for sending information to these prosecutors, presenting the notion that people were harassing these victims. And you got people getting on these platforms saying that Sylvia was doxing the victims, giving the information to Dana J, and he was putting it out there. No, that's some more misinformation, because that's another thing that these silly ass people don't seem to realize when they're doing this doxing shit, which they also did to me. It's one thing to look up and research people, but then when you go live and start exposing certain personal information and shit like that with malicious intent, and people are not grasping when it comes to this whole car situation, which I clearly don't give a fuck about, because clearly all this shit was dumb to begin with. But nonetheless, when it comes to the accusations and why the tracker and all that shit came to be, and passing the information and tracking locations, and people still not grasp the serious allegations being waged, and people keep reinventing their storylines, no, we finna stop doing
Uh, that's different from what she just shared?
Most of what she said is true, but the difference I would have is everything that infamous Sylvia did as far as pulling people information and things of that nature, she distributed to Dana J, and then Dana J would get on his YouTube channel and carry out whatever information that she gave him. You know, when she said that Dana and Sylvia have a history together, yes, they have a long history together. And
So let's pause right there, because if some of y'all been watching the back and forth, which engulfed me at certain points, clearly this same individual was telling people that I put out his information, etc., etc., when I was clearly exposing the fact where certain information came from, which was Sylvia, who sent it to whomever and whomever. But at the end of the day, to try to keep flipping it like it's me doing shit and skipping around the certain individuals, meanwhile people watching all this shit going down for shits and giggles ain't got shit to say then. Oh, they didn't care about it then, but now all of a sudden want to give they 2 cents. This shit's crazy.
I really don't understand. And the only reason I'm paying attention to everything that's going on with Dennis and him and Sylvia is because he has me in that police report. I really don't understand how he would put me in a police report with Sylvia when before I ever met either one of them. They both had police reports on me. I never attacked Sylvia. Sylvia told me she had some information pertaining to the R. Kelly case that I could run on my YouTube live. And when I got off work, I sent her a text. Hey, whatever you're going to send it to me. She contacted Dana. Dana said I wanted her, and then they spun their whole story into whatever they wanted to spin it to. And then he started with the threats and all of this other stuff. You know, how do you go from defending this lady against me to putting me in a police report with this lady? I've never been to Atlanta in my life. Never been to Atlanta in my life.
So pause there right there. So again, there's a confirmation that these people be behind the scenes just passing this information back and forth. When you see them beefing, you see where certain information comes from. When I put certain things out there, people just go on the attack and wondering why I'm putting it out there. Because again, why is people doing all this, taking the focus off what the purpose should be, which is talking about the case and the accusations? Makes no sense. And then when all these outsiders are coming in, gravitating toward this case against Sylvia and Dana, and then still to this day don't want to look at the bigger scope and how it affected R. Kelly's case, because they still want to say he must be guilty of this, he must be guilty of that. This is some straight bullshit.
And Dana J on the internet playing victim with me in the police report, yet you done show my house inside and out. Told me you got gang members watching my house. A month and a half later, somebody shot at me, came back 80 minutes later and shot at my kids. When I was arrested after, people swatted me on YouTube, turning in false or misleading information to the federal government, got me arrested, my case got fully dismissed. But while I was going through that process, at one of my court hearings, they wanted to revoke my bond. And I was like, why? They was like, yeah, we got a recording of you. You've been threatening the witnesses. You threatening the witnesses. I said, I don't even know who the witness is. You got the witness in my paperwork listed as individual one. You never told me who it was. You told me I'll find out when I go to trial. How could I be threatening somebody I don't even know who they is? So they give me the recording. I listened to it with my attorney, and it's actually Randa and Dana on a private phone call, and Dana telling Randa he's looking for me to unalive me. His exact words was to blow my head off. And when they was done playing it, I said, that's not even me. That's Dana J. I'm not even on. This is a phone call between Randa and Dana. I'm not even on it.
Now, the fact that he just skip around shit and leave shit out and conveniently try to paint this narrative is, again, to each his own if you want to believe the narrative. But nonetheless, the point is, people gonna still be sitting here saying the same shit that I'm saying realistically. What the fuck? What does this got to do with R. Kelly? They doing all this goofy ass shit, putting police reports, doing this, trying to infiltrate this person, infiltrate that person, find out this person information, all this shit. Got the private investigator all on YouTube playing these games, looking up Dana and shit. But don't nobody see the bigger scope of what's going on here. The fuck? I must be crazy.
And the government thought it was me and was trying to revoke my bond, and realized in the end that it wasn't me. when he on the internet once again playing victim. I had a federal lawsuit against the Bolingbrook Police Department for a false arrest. I had already went to trial. I'd already proved that I was innocent. I had already won. I had a lawyer take my case, file a lawsuit. I didn't even know Dana J when this happened to me. It happened to me probably in 2017. I didn't come on YouTube until 2019. I didn't show my face on YouTube until 2020. But Dana J took it upon himself to reach out to the police officers, attorneys, post the judge information, tell other people to contact them. I lost my lawsuit in the end, but that's just to show you interfering in my personal life. You posting my.
No, that's just to show that if you trying to do all this shit, you trying to sue people left and right, you shouldn't be on the internet continuously fucking with folks. And then when they do shit to fuck up what you say you got going on, then start attacking everybody the fuck else. Like, somebody make this shit make sense. Anyways.
My address. You read the VIN numbers. Dana J read the VIN numbers off of every car that we ever owned. He contacted my son's mom at work multiple times. She had to change her phone number. He posted her phone number on his YouTube live. He said that me and my son's mom adopted a minor for sex. He claims to be R. Kelly's mentee, yet everything R. Kelly is accused of, he will tell you those same things about me. Once again, I really, really, really don't understand why he would put me in the police report with infamous Sylvia, somebody that gave you my information, somebody I watched on your live as you distributed my information, somebody that went to the police station with you, is y'all both made police reports on me before I ever seen you. And you know, this man will come and tell you my whole life. I only seen this guy twice in 5 years, and both times I seen him was less than 5 minutes. He would tell you I'm terrified of him, I'm scared of him, what he gonna do to me, and then go put me in the police report. I really, honestly, if I'm gonna do anything.
He is talking about all the shit that has took precedence over these people that say that they are on these platforms to support R. Kelly, but somehow got so invested that they've been going back and forth for 7 motherfucking years. And now they just keep reinventing how it came to be. Strange to me, like I was saying, that these bigger bloggers, they want to talk about the back and forth now when it comes to Dana and Sylvia, because Sylvia was doing some similar shit over in other people's cases, the same things that we've observed over here. But the gag is she couldn't do all the same shit in other people's cases that she was able to do in R. Kelly's, is the point. Okay?
If I'm gonna be involved in anything, don't attach me to no Sylvia. Sylvia was Dana's friend. That's how I know Sylvia. I know Sylvia through Dana. They both came from Atlanta. They both came up here to Chicago, running around the Trump lobby, stalking R. Kelly. They both came up here from Atlanta, running around the gym with R. Kelly. I wasn't there. Don't even know them. So for this man to be putting me in the police report, trying to make it seem like it's some network that's out to get you, the network was you, Sylvia, Randa, and others that was out here putting all kind of jackets on people, all kind of jackets. The federal public defender that was afforded to me put Dana J picture in her paperwork. If she asked the government for a dismissal, the government then deferred prosecuting me for 6 months and dismissed my case later on. This man been on YouTube advocating for R. Kelly, telling people that that's his mentee, and yet at the same time was on the phone with the lead agent in R. Kelly's case. His name is Ryan Chabot with Homeland Security Department out of New York, and he's on the phone with this man telling him about me. If R. Kelly's so innocent and you know him and you've been there and he put you through college and all these wonderful stories that you got to tell, when you was talking to the lead agent on his case, you should have been telling him that instead of telling him about me, because I don't know him.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me stop a couple of quick things. Because one, honestly, I understand y'all got a whole situation in history where you know you and
I
Dana
really don't
J.
have no. That's what I'm trying to say, Miss Lenore. I don't know Dana J or Sylvia. Both of these people were attacking me. Both of these people had police reports on me before I ever met them. Yet I'm in this
But
man's police report.
I can personally say that I have seen you in like within a year time over on Sylvia's panel, like a few
Yes,
months ago.
because I'm gonna tell you why. Because once I started doing protests in the streets, Sylvia came and she did participate in the protest with me, and I agreed to stop attacking her and her daughter. And bygones was bygones. I'm not saying she's right and Dana wrong.
Okay.
Dana right and she's wrong. All I'm saying is I had problems with both of them. Me and her was big enough to put it to the side, but I was going to her ass every day for a minute.
Now, wouldn't common sense tell all the critics and the spectators who watch me and always got something to say about what I do and how I present what I do? I ain't got shit to do with none of this shit they be talking about, none of the back and forth they be talking about. So when they try to engulf me because I'm watching what's actually going on, certain things that trigger things that have been mentioned in the paperwork and the accusations that people skip around, it's the problem I've had. All this shit is crazy as hell. The people that don't know each other, they say, can sit here for years going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And the person that's just showing it all on both sides is saying, this ain't a good look. Because the investigator over here trying to make it seem like R. Kelly got people out here doing all this shit. Now you got people talking about Sylvia was giving Dana J the damn victims information. Come on now. Let's put two and two together. The fuck?
Okay. Now hold on one second. Audra,
Yeah.
is this Audra? Okay, Audra, hold on real quick. Now I don't know what was going on in the chat before you came
Yeah.
up here. Okay. But I saw that you must have called one of my moderators weird. Now I don't know
I called her
why
what?
that is. You called her weird. You said
Right.
she's weird
Because of what they said. But I just wanted to say that was not me. That
What
was
was not
not
you?
me. Whoever that woman was, that was not me.
Oh, okay.
It was not. And I also want to add that the reason I'm even aware of you is because of the Ernesto sector, right? The YSL sector. I followed the R. Kelly sector because of infamous Sylvia. She was the first live I ever saw. I think it was her live or Lady D's live that I ever even clicked the link for. So I've been following these people because they were experts in the R. Kelly case, just like you guys are the experts in the Ernesto case.
See how she come with this expert shit? She like, everybody from this sector should know who this crazy motherfucker is off top. If you don't know, go check out my community tabs because I pretty much summarized in a collage everything that I'm saying right now with the visuals to spark people's memory to everything these people are talking about that they selectively skip around when they talk about what happened to them or what somebody did to them.
Right? And I don't even listen to these type of lives that you guys put on. But when it comes,
and speaking of, we've been trying to figure out the longest where the hell her motherfucking crazy ass the fuck came from because she just weird as hell. Like everybody is an informant to her. She'll come on there after calling you an informant, get on your platform and want to have a dialogue with you, talking about she just want to spark this and get this and get that. I don't know what the fuck wrong with these people on the internet, but last time I checked, in the real world, when you want to know questions and answers, you ask people questions and answers. You don't just get on platforms and start throwing accusations and calling people informants and saying all kind of stupid ass shit that don't make no fucking sense.
to infamous Sylvia, I do sort of listen to it simply because I want them to click the link. I want to learn more about how did they even get involved in all of these cases, right? So Debo, what he's telling you, I'm happy to hear that. What the other lady was saying, I am happy to hear that. They meddled in this man's case, just like you see her meddling in other cases. Okay, so that's all. I'm just a YouTube listener, watcher.
So, well, hold on,
yeah.
Audra. Are you the same Audra that said I was a federal informant?
I'm watching these cases.
No, so I'm glad she can admit that, because when people see certain images over here, they get the panicking, and all of a sudden other motherfuckers start jumping out and mentioning me and attacking me. But this motherfucker over here, never mind.
Cases, Ernesto case included.
And
you have had a case yourself. You have had a case yourself. And you know good and well that what you guys
ma'am. Wait a minute. Let me slow you down. This is the Villanor show, and I'm your host, Villanor. I'm not gonna get over talk to my damn channel. That's not gonna happen. That's not even an option. Okay. So I'm gonna put you back up here, but you're gonna answer my questions. So don't go the other way around, baby. Okay. So as I stated, so that I guess the answer to my question was yes. You did say I was a federal informant. So I don't know
federal or not.
Just because
I know that you are an informant.
Well, wait. Hold on. I'm talking. I think that just because you have a case or have had a case,
you have to.
An informant. I'm still talking. That doesn't make you an informant. Okay. So I'm just trying to understand, where would you get such information that is so wrong and so?
Well, why do you taint the jury pools in the Ernesto case? Why do you?
How can I taint a jury pool when no jury, baby? When no jury has been selected, I can't taint it. And if you're paying attention, we are a very small portion of people out here.
So why do you use your energy for things like that?
Attention. I'm still talking. That is even paying attention to this case. Now,
well, you come off as a bitter Black woman, and that's sad, because you're not really Black, are you?
No,
you're
I'm
mixed.
not.
I know you're not.
Yes, I'm mixed. What am I mixed with? What am I mixed with?
You tell me, but it's not far off. If you're not mixed right away, like from your parents, you're still mixed. We can tell by your skin color, and you hate
that means
Black men.
If
that's the problem. So that's why I call you an informant. You don't base your fat. You don't base what you are talking about in his case.
Hey, hold on, ain't that some colorist ass shit? She can tell by her skin color. I have always hated that. I can't stand when people be like, "Oh, you must got some white in you." Why? What? The fuck?
Off out. You don't even base anything off of the video. What your problem is that he cheated on his wife, that he was a bigamist, and all these other things. Right?
That's my problem.
That is your problem. And I looked up some of the women that are in your chat. They're not all Black. They're not all from the United States.
And
you picked on this man, called him the N-word. You have picked on the way he talks.
You're
proud
to be, but
and proud to be. If ignorant means I'm nothing like you, I am proud to be.
I do believe that.
I believe so too, but that's what you do, right? You talk like that, but you don't do that in person, do you? That's how you are. Because you're put out here. You're put out here to do what you do against our men, regardless of the mistakes they have made. Right? But he did not kill anyone.
How you know?
He did not. And if he had, if that was an accusation, where's the proof? See, you don't break down the case. You don't even break down the police report. But see, karma.
See, that's pause right there, because the people she talking about, she came in watching, wasn't breaking down shit. They wasn't breaking down no police report. They wasn't doing none of that shit. They was doing exactly what she doing, sitting her, putting out their rhetoric, gathering up people who have like minds to them and still miss the position that somebody like Prima Donna stands. And that is, I don't care what position you stand when it came to R. Kelly, whether you were a supporter or against him. Number one, if you were against him and you saw all these damn charges caking up, you should have been cool with letting the process do what it do, instead of feeling like these people on these platforms really were doing more than what I showed you they were actually doing, which is playing in this man's case as a supporter. If your attention was on anything more than standing in your position in the accusations against him instead of fueling bullshit, you can't say nothing to me or at my damn wall. You feel me? Because this right here is the type of rhetoric that I try to avoid when it comes to my channel. Because at the end of the day, you can talk all that pro-black shit, this all they trying to take a black man down shit. Oh, we know exactly the motivating factors to why they needed to keep R. Kelly down, but it ain't gonna change the fact that you need proof that this man wasn't doing all this shit that he was accused of doing. And spending your time playing with these nut ass people wasn't gonna get it. Now let's get to the point. Because like I posted on my community wall, in my Patreon account, like I said, I was providing all the documents to go along with my research and breaking that down. Certain points, I just got aggravated because, again, you got the private investigator all on these platforms. You got all these people saying they doing all this and that. They putting in paperwork. They doing this. They doing that. Meanwhile, what do we see happen? And the same people that's looking at Sylvia sideways now, what was this attention when she played all in R. Kelly's case? Is it going to spark you in good consciousness to go back and revisit the things he was accused of? The people that were put on that stand? The fact that the relevance in all of this now is that to this day, they're still fighting about unsealing certain documents in which, of course, the government claims they don't want certain accusers or victims identified through the public domain. But again, if my position in all these years has been very cut and simple, that if these people weren't getting on these platforms, exposing all the information, putting all the so-called evidence and bad act witnesses and all this propaganda out here, I wouldn't have had so much information to build on, now would I? I wouldn't be able to go to the paperwork like right now. Like I mentioned on my community wall, I didn't have the grand jury statements, the grand jury indictments when I saw the proffers from Chicago, which I posted in my Patreon. Now, if you read those proffers, you would have known that the reason why I stood firm and why I wanted to wait and see if Rashona Landfair actually got on the stand in Chicago, simply because even if you read the proffers, they said she was expected to testify. So that would give anybody the impression that they might not be secure in believing she is going to testify. You go to the 2006 FBI report, it clearly indicates that the woman on the video could not be confirmed. Now you put two and two together and you recognize that they needed that bad act witness on the stand. And when you think about the allegations that Bo brought up into his emergency relief and how he's saying that specific individuals on these platforms enabled, or can you say facilitated, a meeting between the two key witnesses in the Chicago case and the New York case. And meanwhile, everybody talking about Sylvia, but we want to skip around all that Sylvia put her hands in along the way. That's that bullshit. Because everybody wanted to focus on Dana J. And from my position, it was very clear. That's your right. My thing is, what is that going to do for R. Kelly? You spend 15 years talking about Dana J. What is that going to do for R. Kelly and the allegations against him? All you saw was it lead to these people going back and forth, putting police reports. Now it escalating to somebody putting this tracker on the car to give information to this and this and this and this and this. Shit is crazy. But the point, let's go to the grand jury. I'm just going to read the first page because I intend to do separate videos on this, but I'm also going to drop the paperwork in my pacer again so that people can go back and refresh their memory on all the things that led up to where we are now. From those proffers that had the 4 specific individuals, then you had them coming with their federal indictments, their superseding indictments, their RICO case. All of this was a pileup that could have been nipped in the bud all the way going back here to this grand jury indictment. That's why I feel like a lot of people don't want to talk about the information, the accusations. Because then people are going to have to wake up and realize all of this the people been talking about, smoke screens, circus tricks. Now, according to what it was implied in Bo's latest paperwork, it is quite possible that Rashona may flip the script. Because again, you got to keep in mind, she was made certain promises in order to get on that stand. People can't keep skipping that when they say she testified, he's guilty, they got a conviction. Let's not talk about, okay, they got a conviction and skip how they got that conviction. The coercion, the witness tampering, the meddling, the interference, the ineffective counsel, all of that went hand in hand, and everybody had a role in that. And if that ain't what they want to focus on, as hard as they want to sit here and cape for individuals, their opinions don't really matter over here. But the first page, it clearly gives you an indication of who this person is. Initials, LC. The thing these people want to keep talking about, this man was abusing these children. Yet even in this trial, not one child was on the stand. Not one minor was on the stand. All women testifying to alleged events. Anybody with common sense would know my position as an unbiased person trying to give the benefit of the doubt would be, if they can't prove these specific events occurred and they're going to rely on these witness statements, is that really solid? Especially if people that know so much and have so much information can debunk these so-called victims instead of spending so much time playing with people on YouTube. The first page, it says, the grand jurors chosen selected sworn in for the county of Cook in the state of Illinois in the name and by authority of people of the United States of Illinois upon their oaths present that on or about February 18, 2003, at and within the county of Cook, Robert Kelly committed the offense of aggravated sexual abuse. Now pause. Do you feel like in 2018, when they got this grand jury indictment, they could have proved this event occurred from 2003? In that he knowingly committed an act of sexual conduct upon LC. If you recall who LC was, we can't expose or dox this individual who was public on interviews with the name Lanita Carter. You remember, the hair braider. How can we just sit here and act like, oh, people on YouTube just revealed these people's identity that we wanted to be anonymous and gave these anonyms and all these cute little names, but they did all these interviews. Anywho, Robert Kelly transmitted his semen onto LC's body for the purpose of Robert Kelly's or LC's sexual gratification or arousal by the use of force or threat of force, and the criminal sexual abuse was perpetuated during the course of the attempted commission of any other felony, to wit, criminal sexual assault by Robert Kelly. Now pause. If you recall her storyline, She did not say there was no force. She did not even say there was an objection. She felt some type of way afterwards if this event even occurred. So again, can you prove this occurred? No. Can you prove there was force? No. We're just going to rely on this witness testimony. Okay. And the statute of limitations for this prosecution is extended pursuant to 720 Illinois Compiled Statutes Act 5, Sections 3, 6. So again, the fact that these people were able to go back and expound these statutes of limitations, even for the adults making allegations, for the people they want to say were minors. That is another issue that I had that people didn't want to focus on as much as they want to give commentary. Oh, wait, I forgot. At that time, they said it was the lawyers' jobs, right? The ineffective counsel that I put on display, that they work so hard to move around to their whim, right? That account. It was their job to do this. So they didn't feel like they wanted to read the paperwork. Nope. They wanted to spend all this time going back and forth with one another, and they don't know how they got here. And this prosecution may be commenced at any time pursuant to the 720 Illinois Compiled Statutes Act 5, Section 35, A2, 2009, in that Robert Kelly's DNA profile was entered into a DNA database within 10 years of the commission of the offense, and LC reported the offense to law enforcement within 3 years of the commission of the offense. So they saying that she reported the incident within 3 years, but and they had DNA, but somehow nothing happened. But in 2019, they were able to secure this indictment with the grand jury. That's just the first one. That's LC, Lanita Carter. Go look her up. She was all on the news. She gave her stories. She was on Surviving R. Kelly. So make it make sense. Hypothetically, if people were doxing these so-called victims on their own accord, would it be right to say that R. Kelly would agree with them doing so? Especially when what I'm essentially telling you is that there's no need to dox these people when they put this information out here willingly. They had certain individuals that were able to get information. You had people like Tasha K that had the BOP officer giving her information to give to the witnesses. But don't nobody want to talk about all of that led to these unlawful convictions. They just want to get up here and say, I support Robert Kelly, but look what they doing over here. Look what they doing over here. Look what they doing over here. This shit is dumb. And that's all I came here to say to y'all. That's about all I wanted to say. With all else said, like I said, I'm going to be dropping some more paperwork in my Patreon. I'm going to be dropping some more exclusives in my Patreon. I'm going to be creating some more uploads here for YouTube. And if you haven't already, make sure you follow me on TikTok and on Instagram. Same moniker, Prima Donna News. Y'all have a good night and see y'all the next time.